Oh yes, he was a part of the restructure of the North Adelaide Football Club, and he's one of the very first young men that came into the scene amongst a whole range of others that have gone on. But David has sort of stuck to his task, and he's, I think, become one of the great quiet achievers of the SANFL.
Michael Redden's played over 300. David Sanders today, the second player. Do you think there'll be any more in the future?
I think they're becoming almost an extinct animal, but I think David stands out mainly because, in my mind, of all the, I guess, lead-up games we played to getting ourselves into the finals and then the final series. David's played at every one of them with me, and I don't think there's not one game I can recall where he's let himself down or his teammate down or his coach down. And I think you just cannot buy that sort of quality in a person these days. Well, he's always been very foremost in my mind as a great player, and I think it's probably a travesty that he never got more recognition. But as I said, he's basically been the quiet achiever and happy to go along and be a part of the team. And I think whatever he does in life from here on, not only will he be successful, but he'll always be loved, I think, by his teammates.
2 at quarter time. It was 18 points the difference, and they just kept them at arm's length, Port Adelaide. 9-4 to 6-1 at half-time, so they're doing quite okay. And David Sanders is playing his 300th game this afternoon. It's a wonderful effort. Michael, you played with him. He's not, like, I have to be very honest, he's not a superstar that stands out, but he just fits the pattern, and he's lasted as long as he has because of his ability to fit like that.
Any man that can play 300 games of football and never catch the ball above his eyebrows, I think he deserves all the congratulations he gets.
I think he had those eyebrows shaved off in one football trip as well, just by the by. But we saw Port Adelaide, this young guy, Alfie Steed, did okay for his first kick. He bent it around the body, and that was one of Scott's goals. But it is a marvellous day, Ken, as we see some free-flowing footy here. Marvellous day for football, as Michael mentioned.
It is certainly a marvellous day, and it's also great to see Shane Farley, number 40 for North Adelaide, kick a goal in his opening game of football. On debut, he's been very, very impressive.
This was Warrior. The smother was very good by Saunders. Not much came of it, but it was a symptom of the sorts of little things that are being done as Armstrong got their third on the board during that early part of the game. Just carried the distance, and they made something of it. And here again is Hodges in front, spot is hard, but Ginniver read it so beautifully.
Oh, he was right in the right spot. Scotty, with body strength, got the ball down. Ginniver was there to do the rest.
And Darren Smith's game at centre-half forward, how have you seen it?
He's very good. He's got a lot of body strength, and it's worrying the North Adelaide players now, and he's supplying some run. They're getting a lot of run from their centre wing players.
Ken, one of the things that's surprising is that Tim Perkins started through the half-forward line, was relegated to the bench. If he wasn't injured, it was a relegation in that second term.
Look, I think there'd be no doubt that the captain would be injured, and Rosenboom has now taken up residence at centre-half forward, but they certainly need, North Adelaide, a lift from those bigger players. Smith and Carruthers are really dominating the body strength in ruck, and their centre line and wingmen, such as McKay of Port Adelaide, are really on fire. And that man there, handball, perhaps overuse, but set up through Phillips, back to Tasker. He's got all the space in front of him.
Well run, Sean Tasker.
Kicks the ball long out in front of the leading goal. He drops the easiest of marks, falls over, and it is Delaney
Holding the ball. He's gone for it. Just laying over the footy, and North Adelaide will get a free kick. But to be fair to Simon Hill, he was probably looking into the sun.
I think we've used the excuse once already today, falling over, looking into the sun. That will do on that one. It really destroys a team when they work the ball so well down the ground. Easy mark, puts it on the turf. But he got himself a chance.
A bit of luck going the Roosters' way. Number 2, Simon Hill. Such a fine and gifted player he is. Playing at full forward today. Kicking from 55 directly in front, but into the man on the mark, trying to get extra distance. Flicks it back into Sanders. Great composure, puts it to Noonan, stands his ground. Great courage as Phil McGuinness, his direct opponent, was closing down on him. And Tim Noonan now.
I think this is 30 seconds of football that Simon Hill really doesn't want to see again.
It was good by Sanders, though, wasn't it? Because players were bearing down on him. And I guess you get that feeling of awareness with 300 games, but he just got the toe to it to Noonan.
That's a great approach for goal by Noonan, and what a mark over the back by Parker. If it's not paid, it'll be a sausage roll. It is indeed a goal.
Who loves shaking the leash and just going for a bit of a wander. He's covered plenty of ground today. Pushes it to half-back. Off hands, they work it okay. Meticulous with the handball. They get it across towards Gerke, who puts the foot on the accelerator, gets in close and nails it. Great kick. Showed plenty of poise, knew just where the opponents were, bolted at the goals, and at the 26.5-minute mark, he gets there 8th.
Obviously, from good talking from the from the North Adelaide boys then, Gerke took possession of the ball, could have slammed it on his boot. He thought about it, but then there was talk to, put his head down, ran straight at the goals, and that's a great kick. Into the wind. Mind you, when I look at that sock over there, there's not a lot of wind right now, so...
No, it seems to have gone away somewhat.
Kicks the ball long, cleaned up by North Adelaide, and they put it into attack. In his first game, this youngster has been very, very impressive. Shane Farley, number 40. Goes wider with the football and finds Phillips.
Brendan Phillips is now in the engineering department trying to get something going for North Adelaide. I'm sorry, Ken. Is puffing like an old billy goat, having raced up. Perhaps a hand signal that you were choking might have been useful. Never mind, it'll test your fitness. Wayne Rosenboom. Now, Big Boom is going to have a shot at it from about 35 metres out. And, Michael, this is a pretty important kick.
It certainly is. If they can get something going, we're looking for Kieran Perkins type effort. I think we've just seen one coming up the back stairs. But if we can get a goal on the board here, they're back in the game, and it looks pretty good.
We need an Oxy Viva for Ken Sheldon. But not for Wayne Rosenboom, who has kicked his first sausage for the day, straight through on the northern end, and keeps them in touch. Just now. Who's getting that ball? Brenton. I'm getting a little old in the legs, Phillips, but still contributing very nicely. Rosenboom.
This is where they need to take the initiative and run the ball through with possession and handball. Give themselves some chance at the goal face.
Well, the kick was a stray, but the movement by hand was okay to Jeffries as they track across half forward. Where's the clean movement? Straight into the arms of Gerke. Important kick coming out. Richard Gerke seems to have played all over the shop today. 24 years of age, a state representative this year. Former Eagle player and one who has just slotted in, hand in the glove, in this North Adelaide side this year. Has a look at it from about 15 or 20. Parker claps. Rosenboom applauds. And the umpire just sticks up 2 fingers, gunslinger style, and says that's a goal.
9 speed and ability to use the ball, as this man can. Roger Delaney clears the ball with a long left leg, looking for Crothers, who puts it over the back to Malachillis. Well intercepted by the North Adelaide players. They could raffle it, but they muff it up. Great pressure in the forward line by North Adelaide. It's tremendous players. They maintain possession. Gerke has got the football. He uses it with the left leg. Parker back on his own. Will let it go through, and it's a snag.
What a great kick.
That was an excellent finish. He had Simon Hill coming towards him. The other player, I think it was Rosenboom, going back towards the pocket. Finished it himself. Beautiful kick.
Beautiful balance, wasn't it? Just watch. Looking into the sun, knew the options short were covered, and on the left leg, with just a little breeze behind him, carried it very, very nicely.
Adelaide lead this game. It's in North Adelaide's half-forward line. They're kicking with the breeze. Out to Gerke. Puts it on to Logan. Logan on to Marshall. Marshall kicks the ball into the goal square. It's going to go through. It's a sensational goal for North Adelaide. Armstrong, number 26, has been good on the wing. He's kicked a goal in the first quarter, and he's butted up with another one in this final quarter. And that really makes a difference. Brings this game absolute to fever pitch.
That's a long way out, a long goal, and you can feel the level of emotion in the North Adelaide supporters.